All right. It is Monday, August 30th, 2021, 2:40 p.m. Captain's log, start date. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not Captain Kirk. This is a podcast with Nikole Denise. Is that what you say your name is?
Yep, it's two names. Yep.
All right, Nikole Denise. And this is, well, I'm Josh Rackless in Ottawa. And the podcast is called Celebrity Josh. But it's morphing. I might call it something different. It might be called Spark U now, like Spark University. And I'm not pretending. I am a professor and I teach people all about being creative and being a millionaire and all of that. And then I have guest lecturers such as yourself that we're going to learn like comedy from or something.
Oh, okay.
Surprise! I'm even surprising myself.
I'm surprised. Like, I don't know. What am I teaching?
I don't know. Whatever we say afterwards, I'll come up with, I don't know. It'll be like, that was, I don't know. What does anybody?
Well, what does anybody know? That's a good point.
Yeah. Like, unless you're learning like how to build a rocket or do brain surgery, I don't think any of us know anything.
Nope, we don't.
Even the president of the United States.
Yeah, well, does any president know anything?
No, because it's not like you get a degree in it. You just get people saying, I like you, you do it. So
yeah.
I'm just frustrated that I wasn't born in Canada, or I was born in Canada. Or so I can't run for the US. Actually, never mind. I didn't say that. We don't know where I was born.
Okay. Maybe everybody knows where you. If you were born in Canada, you should go back at this point.
Well, I am in Canada. What do you mean go back?
Oh, you are?
Where do you think I am?
I don't know. I thought you were in LA for some reason. I don't know.
Are you in LA?
I am.
Well, let's go meet at a coffee bean or something then.
Yeah, we'll find one between Canada and here. That's doable.
Maybe Austin, Texas. People say that's nice.
Maybe. Just hop on our jets.
Well, I don't know. I just saw that people are posting once it's September, it's like broom season, babies, and then all the ladies hop on their witches or something. It's ride time or something.
I could hop on my witch's broom. I could do that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll hop on mine. It'll be good times. So let's see. Yeah. I should check your Instagram like bio here so that I can say here. Let's see what it says. Where am I? Messaging. This is an exciting podcast. All right, here we go. Stand-up comic, writer, actor. For booking, email or DM. Co-producer of the, and I can't even say that because I don't want to be like demonetized on YouTube.
The bleep show.
The F-It comedy show. And it's actually that's the Instagram, the F-It comedy show. Author and author of Someone Is Talking to Me. So let's see, what do we got? We got 1363 followers on Nikole Denise Comedy, and we've got 598 on the F-It. Produced by two moms. All right. Oh, who's this? Lynn's son. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So we got a whole thing going on here. Okay. Yeah. So, have you been on podcasts before?
I have been on podcasts before, and I started a podcast that I only did 2 interviews with, and then just yeah.
Oh, okay. So then, all right, you can help me with all of this then. I'll just let you do it because I'm like, why do I do this podcast? I don't know. But I like to learn. Well, originally it started off, I was like, I'm going to interview celebrities and hear about celebrity gossip and celebrity news and stuff.
Right.
And then I realized that doesn't make any sense. Well, first of all, yeah, still, what are you talking to the celebrities about? And also, celebrities, they don't really come on. Like, the bigger you are, the more you have to check with your agent first to go, who is this sketchy person that might ruin my career if I whatever. So even if they talk to me, they're like, I don't know, I got to go through my person or whatever.
Yes.
And then I realized I was kind of more. I'm not really interested in like. I thought it'd be cool to be like a Perez Hilton, just gossiping and stuff, but I don't really care about any of that. Like, I'm more interested in learning things, like all the podcasts I listen to, or how to be an entrepreneur, how to become a big YouTuber, or how to live forever, or just learning things. So then I thought, well, maybe that's my thing, but I can still talk to people because everybody's got like a thing they know how to do or whatever, and we can all get advice from other people.
Yeah.
So looks like you're into lots of stuff. Are you from LA originally?
Pretty much. I was, born in Detroit, but my mom, we moved out here. So hold on, let me turn my phone off. Sorry.
Yeah. And I'm looking for
Um,
the plug for my ring light so that I can be well lit here.
yeah, I wasn't smart enough to do the ring light thing today.
That's
But yeah,
okay.
I was born in Detroit and moved out to Los Angeles when I was 6. So
Oh.
I always say Detroit born, LA raised.
Was your mom wanting to be like a Hollywood star?
Absolutely not. My mom was wanting to be like, I'm getting away from Detroit.
All right. And LA was the next safest
LA
place.
LA was the spot.
Well, that's all right. And
Yeah,
and you've been there ever since.
I've been here ever since.
So did you like go to the high schools with all the celebrities? Like anytime I'm in
No,
LA, they're like, oh yeah, I went to high school with Kirsten Dunst or whatever, that kind of thing.
absolutely. I'm not that part of Hollywood. I am the LA Unified School District.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is that like straight out of
No,
Compton kind of thing? Or is Compton in LA? I don't know.
not quite,
No.
but pretty close.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
no, we lived in Inglewood, so yeah, pretty close. Inglewood is not too far from Compton.
okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I got to look at a map at all these things. Because that's
Yeah,
LA's really broken into neighborhoods. It's like, if you say you're in Toronto, oh, you're from Toronto, and people are curious to what neighborhood, but it doesn't define who you are. But I guess in LA, it's, oh, you're Santa Monica, you're the
LA
OC.
is like you move 2 inches and you're in another spot. So we lived in Culver City for a second, and the next 2 blocks, you go maybe 4 blocks down, you're in Inglewood. So it's like, and then you go somewhere, like you go a couple blocks this way, you're in West Hollywood. Like it's all so spot, it's minutes, you're minutes in another spot. Is,
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
best way I can explain.
Yeah, you're in one spot, you're gonna get shot, you cross the street, and now you're like, oh, you're in Pretty Woman, like at Rodeo Drive.
Absolutely. It is that bipolar out here. For
Wow,
real.
interesting. And that's why I think when people, they talk about dating in LA and everything, and everybody's like, oh, if somebody says they're in a different area, you're like, well, I'm not going to date people there. And I'm like, it's the same city, but no, you're not going to drive 3 hours to this other region or something. So I guess
Yeah, I mean, that's the good part about me growing up where I grew up. I'm not scared to go anywhere.
that's true. Anything's an improvement, I guess. And
Well, I'm just not scared.
yeah,
You get a tolerance.
yeah.
Like,
That's good. Yeah, you've built up the calluses, and you're like,
yeah,
I've
like I'm
survived
not
this.
I'm not worried about. There's some people that will not step foot in Compton. I mean, I may get a big toe in there, you know what I mean, these
Yeah.
days, but
Well, it sounds like
younger stomping grounds.
yeah, it sounds like everything's unsafe in LA right now. I just messaged a
Yes.
friend because I was gonna go be a roommate a couple years ago, just before COVID, and then I had to come back to Canada. And then I emailed her yesterday, or I messaged her and I said, "What's LA?" She's like, "Oh, it's everybody's leaving. It's pretty bad." And I'm very liberal, but the homeless stuff is really bad. And I'm like,
It's bad. Oh, the homeless problem here is so bad. It is so bad. It's literally like on the sidewalks. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's insane. It's
yeah.
insane. It's
I
pretty it's
I
pretty
listen to
sad.
a lot of the Ben Shapiro show every night, and he's like a conservative commenter. So anytime I mention that, he's, "Oh, you're racist," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I mean, it sounds like it's true." Like he moved out because he was always saying, all the homeless people doing drugs on his doorstep and everything, and he just can't live with that. He
Yeah.
doesn't want
And
to.
it's not cheap. It's not cheap to live in California. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Well, see,
get it, you're spending what 500K on a 1 bedroom house.
right. So if you're
And it's 17 tents in front of your joint.
yeah, so you're like, okay, if I'm paying this money and I still have to live with the tent city, I might as well go to Austin or Miami or something.
Somewhere, at least somewhere where you can afford acres, like
Yeah,
I know
well,
a lot of people moving out.
yeah, well, and I mean, Toronto's kind of like that in terms of price. Like my condo I was living in was almost $1 million, and it was 1,001 square feet, and it's right downtown. So, but for that kind of money
That's
anywhere else, you
crazy.
could probably have a very big house somewhere. So, yeah, it's tough. But oh wait, hold on, somebody's opening my door. Yes, I'm just interviewing someone for my podcast. Can I help you? I'll interview you later. I'm talking to an actress in LA. It's my nephew. He's 7. Do you want to come say hello? All right. This is Elin. He's gonna.
Something one of my kids would do.
Yeah. All right. Pop your head in here. Put it here.
Hey.
Wait, hold on. I'll take my headphones out.
Look at you.
Yes. All right, Elin, say hello. This is Nikole.
Hi. What's your name?
Elin.
Elin. You're 7?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
January 19th.
January 19th. Oh, you're almost 8.
Well, no, not almost, because I'm my birthday's in November and I'm still in November, so he's far off. Yeah, but
what do you like to do? What's your favorite thing to do?
You like playing hockey.
Playing hockey.
Yeah, he's like the
Playing
best
hockey,
in the age group, and it's in the city, and his sister plays hockey too.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. You got to be real good to play hockey. Because I tried ice skating a couple of times and I failed miserably. So I can't imagine ice skating with a stick and trying to hit that ball, little puck thing with the stick and then move around people at the same time. It's not going to work for me.
Very hard. That's why when I think in LA at some point they had the puck that lights up or something, so the Americans could follow it on the screen. They had to make it easier for the Americans to like, where is this thing? And Canadians were like, oh, this is such an embarrassment, or whatever.
I'm good at roller skating, but getting on the ice, that's pretty cool.
Roller skating is very LA. Yes. And so Elin, I told him I want to do a podcast with them, get them on TikTok, get these kids creating.
Oh. Yep.
I made the mistake.
That is smart.
I should have had my own kids. I didn't realize. I thought, oh, I got to work on my career. But now I'm like, kids could be your career. Like all these big YouTubers, they're all 5-year-olds.
Yeah. Josh, be careful what you ask for. I got 2 kids. Be careful what you're asking for.
I know everybody.
Do you sleep well? Do you sleep through the night?
Nothing wakes me up. Yeah.
Well, then you don't want kids.
Yeah, everybody says. I don't know. The plan was to get like super rich, like Angelina Jolie or something, and then just have like nannies taking care of all the kids, and then I can be like, look, that's a good plan. Yeah, or Eddie Murphy's got like 6 kids. I'm sure he's not babysitting all of them.
No, he's not babysitting anything.
No.
Yeah.
So are you gonna sit here the whole time, Elin? Is that or no? All right. Well,
you're out of here.
You can watch and learn. You can watch and learn how a podcaster works.
Yeah. No school today?
No,
not yet.
No?
He's visiting from his city in Brampton, and then he'll be going back next week. School starts in a couple of weeks, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, don't they have summers off in LA?
Well, my kids do. They're year round, so they do 3 months on, 1 month off.
Really? What are you in Europe? Yeah. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I know. That's how they do it where I live. 3 months on, 1 month off.
That's the way they should do it. I feel like that's what they do in Europe, because the old system is like, give them 2 months off so they can help plow the fields or whatever, I guess was the idea. Doesn't make any sense now. So
I'll definitely start making my kids plow a field. I think that would be good for them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. My sister was just saying, when this guy goes to hockey camp all day and running around, at the end of the day, he's very calm. He's like, okay, mommy, I'm going to go to bed now. But unless he burns off that much energy, he's always things and tackling and running in on podcasts and all of that. Yeah, you gotta burn off that energy. Just get a little treadmill.
They have to exert that energy. Yeah.
Have you thought about getting your kids onto, social media like YouTubing?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, no.
Nope.
All right. But you must see auditions for kids and be tempted to be like, oh, I'll take my kid in.
No, before I did comedy, I worked as a hairstylist in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. And I worked on some of the Disney shows with some of the Disney kids. Ooh. So, no, I would not have my children in anything until they're adults and grounded and stable mentally to handle any type of success or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what they say, but I don't know. I mean, I wasn't a child star and I didn't really enjoy childhood, so I'm like, it's not that great anymore. I'd rather be rich and famous and suffer through whatever the nonsense is.
But you think I got to see some interesting activity with these kids,
What does that mean?
Some of them are good and some of them are just brats, you know, like we hate to say it. There's no easier way to say this, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's like anything, like even just in the normal world, kids get spoiled and they're little brats. But if
Exactly.
they don't know any better, and now they're Disney kids and everybody's running around being their servants.
Exactly.
I know I saw some stand-up comedian, I forget who it was, talking about, or maybe it was even Bill Maher, or somebody talking about like Mick Jagger saying, you know, nobody said no to this guy for like 50 years. So he, you know, he's just insane, right? He snaps his finger, somebody hands him a Diet Coke. So they don't even know what reality is anymore. So I keep saying, like, you know, I'm glad I've gone through, you know, poverty and non-fame so that when I do achieve it, I will really appreciate it. But I feel
you have a level of gratitude that is
yeah. But I feel like I'm ready now. Like I've got enough suffering to be grateful for the rest of my life. I'm ready.
I feel you, Josh. I second that emotion. Okay.
Yeah. The universe doesn't have to hold back anymore. Let's do it.
Absolutely not. Universe is listening. Josh and I are ready.
We're manifesting.
We're ready we are ready to have to snap our fingers if somebody brings us a Diet Coke. And I will actually say thank you and be grateful and give Christmas gifts.
That's the thing. You'll be one of those celebrities. Everybody's like, oh my God, she's so nice. She's so grounded. She like looked me right in the eye and everything. Yeah. She said,
absolutely. That is me.
Look, Obama fist bumped the janitor. Oh my God, he's so grounded. He's so
oh my God. Oh, what? He talks to regular people.
Oh my God. And then he has his birthday party with Jay-Z or whatever. But whatever.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, if you're going to be elected president, that's the perks of the job. What are you going to be like? No, I'm not going to hang out with Beyonce. I'm going to be
right.
Not how it works. So, okay. So you moved to LA. You, did you go to some weird school with like 3 months on, or is that a newish thing?
No, I went to a regular LA, like we had regular summer in July. Okay. Was it June to August?
Yeah. And then even university ends, like exams are in April. So I had May, June. I don't know what I did with the whole summer, but I miss those days. And then did you go like school for hairstyling, or how'd you get into that?
Yep, I did. I went to beauty college in high school.
Oh,
so
cool.
I knew, I remember I told my mom when I was 7 that I was going to do hair on TV. So
you knew.
I guess I came into the world with purpose. So 9th grade and 10th grade, I went to summer school. So 11th grade, 9th, 10th, 11th, I did summer school. So my senior year, I'd have half day so I can go to beauty college. So I would go to school until noon, hop on the bus, go to beauty college. So I graduated from high school. A month later, graduated from beauty college. Been working ever since.
That's so cool. See, I wish I knew what I wanted to do like that and had a purpose and all of that. That's awesome. And so you've seen the Hollywood side of all of that.
Yeah.
And then at some point, did you decide, when did you decide you were going to like do all the things in your Instagram bio, comedy and such?
They just happened. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't know what you mean. That doesn't just happen. Like, what am I doing on stage? I better say something into this mic.
No, listen, that's just how it just happened. I was never like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. I want to do comedy. I want to do stand-up. That never crossed my mind. You know what I mean? I was always artistic. So I would always write stories and stuff like that. So that makes sense. I would do poetry, and I did the poetry circuit for a while. So being on stage wasn't unfamiliar, but it was always just expression of like how I felt, I didn't start hearing comedy until after my second daughter. I had postpartum depression after childbirth. And that's when I started to hear comedy. So every time I got in the shower, I would hear myself saying something, and then I would hear the laughs. And I was like, okay, clearly I'm not just depressed, but clinically depressed and losing my mind at the same time. And so I would just get out and write it down. And then I was talking to my sister, and I told her, I was like, I think I'm hearing comedy. And she's like, probably, you're funny. You should just do it. And I was like, and then I create, I'm just a creative person, so I created a show with this chick. We met up and we came up with a show concept, and we shot the pilot. We pulled our resources and shot the pilot. that's LA. You
Yeah.
know people, you pull your resources, and that didn't work out. So I was even more sad, like, oh no, that didn't work out. And then my sister kept telling me, like, just do stand up. And I had somebody else tell me, like, no, you're really funny, you should try stand up. And I'm like, nah. And one day I asked my husband, I kept feeling it. It took me about a year of wanting to do it before I did it. And I asked my husband, I was like, how would you feel if I did stand up? And he said, I would hate it. And
then the next thing is, how would you feel if I'm a stripper? Oh, okay, I'd hate that more. All right, so I'll do the comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
And once he said I would hate it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going now. So I went the next night.
Just
stick
it to him. Good.
Yeah.
The next night. So, like, did you already like you just took all the material you'd been writing down from the shower?
Yeah. I mean, I had so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had so much written down. So I just I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do 5 minutes. Like, how am I gonna talk for 5 minutes? Mm-hmm. That's where I was at that time, and I just went and I hopped on that stage and I just let her rip. And man, that was love right there.
Wow.
It was one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life.
It sounds like when I watched a few episodes of The Amazing Mrs. Maisels or whatever it's called, Marvelous Mrs. Maisels, and she just wanders onto stage, and it's like everybody's like, yeah, and it's like, oh my god, just suddenly discovered. Like, did you the first time? Did you have your notebook beside you, and you're like, what else, or did you like sort of just remember everything?
No, the first time I remembered everything. I went in there like it was a script. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I had it in my mind, word for word, like, don't mess up, Nikole.
Yeah.
And even though I had it that way in my mind, once I was up there, it was just kind of like flowed, like I said something that I didn't write down.
Yeah. And that's the way, that's the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I took some classes over Zoom with Greg Dean. Do you know that class or whatever? He's kind of like this big teacher in LA that I saw ads for. And so the teachers are in LA.
Sounds familiar.
But I was doing them on Zoom. Yeah. The main thing they taught us was, do you know, what's her name? Gail somebody is the teacher. Gayla somebody.
Oh, Gayla.
Yeah.
Johnson.
She was my teacher all winter. And
yes, I know her. We just did a show together. Oh,
cool. So yeah, what she says is, and what the whole class teaches is basically, don't memorize it. Like, it's not about word for word. Like, basically you have to know what your crux of your joke is. Like, there's a little part of your joke that you need to say so the joke works, but the rest of it you can interby, whatever, dance around it or be in the moment. If it's something completely different comes out, great. It's all about performing. I noticed that a couple of nights ago I went to a stand-up act on a boat that somebody had an extra ticket for on Facebook, and the first two comedians, they were doing their material, and it was tough. It was a tough audience. We're on a boat, whatever. And then the last guy just came on. He's like, "Oh, what are we doing on a boat? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, how did this happen? One guy eats a bat in China, and now we're on the boat." And it's like, don't you guys know there's Netflix? And he's just making fun of the whole thing off the top of his head. And it was people loved it because they're in the moment. That it's clear that he's in the same spot they are. And
yes, he's present. Yeah.
So that's what we learned in the class. It's not this show where this is my script and you must listen to me. It's about the interaction with the audience. It's about being
interaction.
There. Yeah,
absolutely. The feel,
Yeah, so you had a natural sense for that. That's pretty cool. And then how long ago was that big first night?
Almost 3 years ago now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm new. Yeah.
I feel
baby
bad
in the game.
I've just wasted the past 3 years. I could have been down in LA doing the journey with you. That's what I should have done, man. So and that's my.
You can't. Is there not a big comedy scene in Canada?
Very big. So I have no excuse for any of this. I could have been doing it. Could have been doing it here too.
I was about to feel bad for you, Josh.
No, I mean, even I'm in Ottawa right now. I've been here for the pandemic, and it's pretty big. Like, apparently there's open mics every night of the week here. So, I did a comedy contest last month, and again I won my first prize for my night last month, and then I had round 2 to do last week, and I thought, oh, it's gonna be the same judge. I better write all new stuff, and it was a different judge, so I could have done the same act. And then I was talking to this other woman comedian. It's like, what are you talking about? She was in it like for 3 years and got to the finals every time and did the same act every round, like like you don't change it up. You do. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. And also,
some people don't.
No,
I change mine up all the time. Sometimes I write something new for everything that I do.
That's good. That's what I like to do. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but, and I mean, I have our, we have our core, you have your set 5, have your set 10, your set 15 that you just know off top. But I like to write something new. Like there's so much stuff that goes on in my head. So a friend of mine's like, I don't know how you do it. I'm like, I don't know.
Wow. There you go. It's your gift. Yes. Somebody, where was I watching recently? I was listening to somebody on YouTube or something saying that a lot of comedy is natural. You got to have that thing that you're naturally funny or you naturally have a sense. Like it's not necessary. I have no idea where I heard this, but maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. I mean, I think a lot of people scare themselves. I mean, it's scary to do, first of all. Even for people who do it, it's scary because it's like you want to get a reaction from people, and there's no way to know if they're going to laugh until you're there doing it. So it's not even like you can plan ahead. You can learn a song and you're going to play the song and the song's the song and people will clap at the end. That's not. But comedy, you have no idea until you're doing it.
Oh, and it's such an individual journey. You know what I'm saying? Like it is different for everyone. Everyone's delivery is gonna be different. You know what I mean? Me and you could tell the same joke, and it'll sound completely different coming out of your mouth than it will mine because it's all individualized. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Yeah.
So that's why. I mean, I try particularly hard to come up with stuff that could only be said by me. Like it's not like, what's the deal with airline food? It's more like, what's my opinion on it, or how, what's my life about? But even with that regular stuff, it's a lot of the delivery or your little inflection or it's like something like not everybody can read somebody else's jokes and then repeat them and it'll be the exact same thing. So which is why it's good, because then it's like, then there would just be one comedian in the world just reading everybody's same jokes. It's like
exactly. We'd be ghostwriting for this one guy.
yeah. And then what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's why I like stand up too. Because you were saying like your show didn't work out, and that's a lot of work. You got to get people together and film things and act and scripts. But with comedy, you can stand there in the shower, come up with your stuff, and then you can go anywhere. You're ready to go with your mic and your notebook. So I like not having to rely on other people. Well, I had a comedy troupe when I was young, and one of my friends started dating this other girl I'd broken up with, and I didn't want to go to the shows anymore. It's like, oh, he's with Nancy. I miss Nancy. It's all drama.
Well, that's drama. I wouldn't want to go to that either.
I know. And then I was torn.
Unless I was just gonna, uncomfortably boo every time they said something, which is petty, but I'd do it.
Yeah. I know. It was ridiculous. So like we don't have the comedy troupe anymore. Nancy's divorced from someone else. Adrian's divorced from his other wife. None of it matters. It's all ridiculous.
Look at you dodging bullets
left and right.
All good. Well, that's good stuff.
The problem is I dodged some bullets, but then other dodges, they were good women. Like a lot of women I dated, I was lucky that the first girl I ever kissed when I was 18 was like this amazing, perfect woman that I'm still in love with. And it's like, that was 30 years ago. She's married with 3 kids. Like, what am I talking about? But
you messed it up.
I broke up with her for no reason. I mean, I was 18. I didn't know any better, and I just said, look, after a month, I'm like, let's break up. Why? I don't know. And I think it was just, for some reason, I try to cause myself pain. I don't know what that is. Like that's a weird mental illness. And then
that's why you're a comic, huh?
I guess, yeah. I asked the teacher Kevin at the Greg Dean classes. I said, "Did you think this helps? Like if I talk about being sad and depressed?" So yeah, it helps. It's good therapy and stuff. So I'm like, okay. But then the problem was, I thought, okay, I'll be around all these comedians. They'll make me look at life so much better. I'll be happy. But then there was this guy in LA who's also complaining about living in a basement and being divorced. And I'm like, oh my God, we're all depressed. How is this? This isn't good. I was hoping it'd just be people that are making me laugh.
Yeah. But I mean, talking to some comics is draining, which is why I don't talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I can drain myself, but it's all perspective. You know what I mean? Like I would tell you all the bad things that you're going to tell me about in your life. I'm going to point out something good. That's why I said, okay, great. Like that friend took that girl from, that means that she wasn't good for you anyway. And then your friend showed you he wasn't your friend anyway.
Yeah.
So great.
Oh, that all worked.
Guys,
he didn't even take her. I'd broken up with her on my own or something, and then introduced him to
but
her.
still, that's
It's
cold. Like you
don't do that. I was wondering, and I mentioned
don't do that.
Yeah, I think I talked to my friend Steve or whoever else was in the troupe, and he's like, you can't do that. There's other women. Why would you do that to the troupe?
In LA, that's foul. Well, that's what we would say.
Foul. All right.
Just foul. FOW. Don't get the U out of there, Josh. FOW. Foul.
Is that short for foul?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay. Foul. All right. Look at me. I'm hip.
Look at you. See?
Right.
You learned something new today.
I'm cool. And I'm very proud of myself when you said I can drain myself. I didn't say something about that. Oh, I can do that too or something. I had a lot of funny, dirty thoughts. Got
it.
Comedy. It's comedy. I've realized I'm now at the point, I'm too old for like sort of dirty jokes. Like it used to be kind of cute. Like I think if I'd flirt with someone in an interview or make some joke, but now I'm like, I realized that maybe 5-6 years ago, I got to the point where that's not cute. Nobody wants to picture you doing anything sexual or whatever. So don't ever mention that again. So I can't do that. So I am now an asexual being, and I actually am an asexual being. I didn't realize that when I broke up with my last girlfriend when I was 40, because I thought, I don't want to just sleep with one woman for the rest of my life. I didn't realize the alternative was to sleep with no women for the rest of my life. And
so are you asexual by choice or circumstance?
I am involuntarily asexual.
Involuntarily, okay. Because I was gonna really ask you, like, how is that lifestyle? That seems a little odd. That seems odd, but no judgment to anybody.
No, it's yeah. I even went to a swingers party the other day, hoping that I'm like, oh, okay. How do you? I mean, you got to get action at like a swingers party, but it turns out they were all couples and they're all like swinging with each other, and I'm like, it's not fair.
So how did you get invited? Wait. How did you even get invited?
It's not really okay. It's a couple. I was hanging out with some woman a couple of years ago in like a small town, and she mentioned, oh, you might like this social group, and it's this group of kind of like it seems to be a chain. I feel like there's one in the US and there's one here, and it's kind of like sexually open people. Like they'll do events like a wine tasting or something that aren't sexual, but then they'll have parties occasionally where people are naked and then you're allowed to be sexually just sort of a free for all. They don't care. It's like, kind of like a bunch of baby boomer hippies that are like, whatever.
I've been to one of those pre-marriage.
Yeah, but was it anybody you'd want to see naked?
It was random. It was like a big ass I'm gonna cuss. It was a big old warehouse. And only certain people would get the location. And then in the warehouse, it was just a bunch of rooms that you could just venture into if you like.
Wow.
It was strange. It was wild. Yeah.
Because I've never heard, like, maybe they do and I wasn't invited, but I don't think there was like any big orgy parties like in university with all these hot, beautiful people. But it seems like when people get older, there's a segment of people that just don't care anymore. So you'll go to Temptations and it'll be like, a whole bunch of people over 60 that are maybe not necessarily the fittest people, and they're like, whatever, it's just
whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, just because you're not fit doesn't mean you won't, you don't want to,
Oh yeah, no, I was too embarrassed though, because the party's theme was like serve.
Okay, so wait, I have so many questions. So when you got to the party and they all started swinging, did you just leave? Did they tell you like, hey, this is where you leave? Like, get out of here? No one to include?
No, I knew what this was. Like, because they have different social events. Like the first one I went to was just a vineyard, and there was nothing sexual about it. It's like they have different levels of events. And this one was the sexy, what do they call it? Sexy pool boy party or whatever. And so they had men in Speedos serving shots was the idea. And they asked me to do it. I'm like, I feel too fat to take my shirt off right now. So I couldn't, but I walked around.
You could have been sexy scuba suit pool boy.
That's true. And again, one guy was really
you could have just cut a hole in the front of your scuba suit, I'm
not cutting a hole in anything at one of these parties.
Reverse.
That's true. Say like in the back or the front. Where would I put wait, what am I doing? Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know what this scuba suit is. Yeah, I guess that way, yeah, nobody
No.
can see my body. Yeah, but I could still, yeah, these
So
are all,
you can still show yourself off. Yes.
that's true. See, I need you as my costume planner for these things.
Consult me. You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
The main thing I was worried about, because it was a potluck, and I'm like, oh, I hate potlucks, because I never know what to bring. Like, I don't know what you need. I don't want to look cheap and just bring chips, but I don't want to spend like $50 on something and then feel like I got ripped off. Like I want to get my money's worth. Otherwise, what's the point? But on the way there, my friend was driving, and the only grocery store we passed was like an Asian grocery store. And I'm like, okay, they've got a $30 sushi tray. And
Sushi
I'm like,
platter. I was gonna say sushi platter.
it was a big round thing, but I'm like, they're gonna want like this tray of raw fish beside the pool in the sun. It just seemed like a bit much. And I'm like, and it was also $30. So I walked over to Subway and I'm like, what do you got for a party? Like, okay, I can make this tray of like 5 subs and cut them up. But that turned out to be $50. And then I got to decide, well, what do we want on each sub? And this was like a whole thing. And I'm like, I prefer whole wheat because that's healthier, but not everybody likes whole wheat. They don't want to show up with the healthy subs. And then I'm like, should we put on mustard? He's like, not everybody likes mustard. They like mayo. Anyways.
You got to think about these things. Mustard, salami, everybody's trying to kiss. Your breath is hot. Go with sushi.
That's true. Sushi. I guess I should have, in retrospect, I probably should have. I don't know. Because I brought the subs and that was $50. And then they just sat there. Nobody had a sub. And I'm like, oh man. So all night I got my eye on the subs. And I'm like, all right, if nobody takes them, I'm taking them back home.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, I'd look bad, but I'm like, I don't care. I'm taking my subs. And I grabbed them, I ran out. Then my friend came out. And I'm like, maybe I should have taken like some of the samosas or something too, but I didn't want to look greedy. And he's like, they just threw out all the food. I'm like, what? They just dumped all the food into the garbage. And I'm like, I could have taken anything.
Yeah. So now we know, Josh, we'll just go to these parties and just steal all the food and we'll have food for the week.
That's true. I mean, my dad was eating those subs for the week.
See?
Yeah. And then today I was eating some hot dogs just before this. And my sister's like, what are you eating? Hot dogs? And I'm like, yeah. Because I had another potluck a few days later, just a regular clothed one. And I didn't know what to bring. What did I bring? I can't even remember. We stopped at a store. Yeah, oh, I know what I bought. Because they told me to bring naan and dip and stuff. So I bought like 5 big naans and some dips. And then I brought a package of frozen hot dogs because I knew they were going to have a barbecue. And then nobody ate any of that either. But at the end, I was like, I'm going to take my naan and dips back. And they were gone. I'm like, oh my God, I think the people in the house took them and put them in the fridge. And then I'm like, I can't go in-house now digging away, like looking, because I guess that's the price of admission. Because I did eat other food. But I took my hot dogs. I'm like, nobody's going to eat my $2 package of no-name chicken hot dogs. So,
yeah.
But and this is the capper. Yesterday, I read an article. I got a health newsletter that said, for every hot dog you eat, you lose 36 minutes of your life.
Yeah. I was going to say that. My husband told me that the other day.
You must get the same.
It was like a whole thing of a list of foods that you lose time eating. Yeah,
but if you eat a handful of nuts, you gain 26 minutes. So.
Yeah. I don't eat hot dogs, and rarely do I eat nuts.
Well, you got to eat nuts. I was just watching a cancer doctor say that you need to have 12 walnuts a week. And I thought that's nothing. But in my head, walnuts were like a little piece of walnut. But no, like a walnut is a whole walnut.
No, a whole walnut. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
walnuts. I like. I'm allergic to almonds now, which sucks.
Did that just start?
Now, it just started some years ago. Welcome to 40s.
Wow. And so how did you discover that? Like you just had a walnut and you're like, oh.
No, it's almonds. So I ate
almonds.
Some almonds. Yeah, like I like almonds. So I was eating a handful of almonds and I started itching like crazy and it just broke out in the rash. I was like, what is happening? I'm thinking it's something else. The next time I eat almonds, it happens again. I was like, oh, okay. I think I'm allergic to almonds. So.
And then have you done anything?
I still eat them.
Tested officially, but now you can just see that that's what happens every time you eat almonds.
I just know it's going to happen. So I know if I eat almonds at any point during the day, I'm just going to have to take some Benadryl at night.
Wow. What a weird thing to just develop an allergy in the middle of like nothing.
Life.
Yeah. Well, I guess it could be worse. There's people that are allergic to, who did I meet that was allergic to like soy or something? And apparently it's in everything. Touches
that's
detergent.
My 6-year-old.
Yeah. Bread, anything.
6-year-old, everything. She's allergic to wheat, nuts, soy, dairy, eggs, oats, dogs, cats, Everything.
There's a little bubble child. What the hell?
She's a bubble baby.
How does
Yep.
that happen? All of that.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know, but that happened. Yeah. So we're hoping that she grows out of it, but
I don't know. And how did you find out about, like, do you get tested for all of that, or like?
Well, I found out once I started trying to feed her real food after breastfeeding. You know, like they get at a certain age. I'm like, okay, let's do real food. You know, and I gave her the little mix of bananas and oats baby food, and she went into full anaphylactic shock.
Wow.
She was like 9 months. Yeah.
And then do you take her to the doctor and they do a little skin test for everything?
For the hospital, and then that's when we figured it out. So it was trial and error of trying things and her throwing everything up. And then I was like, okay, we have to test her blood for everything.
Yeah.
And that's when we got it back. She's allergic to everything.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, that makes it difficult. So that's one of those things where I guess I can't complain about, I don't know. I can eat everything.
Anything. You can't complain about anything, Josh. There's no complaints for you today.
I know. I got nothing to complain. I thought I was maybe allergic to gluten once, but I was just upset that I broke up with a girlfriend, and doctor said I had to get I was getting all these stomach pains, and I was in the hospital, and I had to go to emergency, and then I got an endoscopy and a colonoscopy, and the doctor's like, "There's nothing wrong with you. Just stop stressing out." I'm like, "Oh,
it's stress." Yeah, you had your whole solar plexus off.
Yeah, I broke up with this girl, and I kept getting her back, and then breaking up with her again, and then finally she said she was engaged, and that was like,
toxic.
Well, yes. Still hoping I'm going to meet my true love in LA or something one day.
You never know.
Yeah, so I just got a calendar notification. It says at 3:30 I've got to do a chat. I'm working with I'm doing some copywriting. We're pitching for a pharmaceutical business. And then I got briefed on that this morning, and then they said, "Oh, we're doing a podcast for the pitch as well. Like, can you maybe help that?" I'm like, I have my own podcast. I'm a voice actor." And whoa, they're all excited. So they booked me for that.
Yes.
So we'll see. I know, because I've been avoiding work for a few years. I'm not going to apply for like a copywriting job. I want to be free. I want to be a digital nomad. I want to just do my comedy. But now I'm like, maybe I should live like a normal person and have like income and.
No, don't ever live like a normal person, but still do the job. Just don't stop your comedy.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I thought, I need to be free. I can do no, you don't need to do your comedy all day. You can go to a job or do some kind of
job.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't mean to cut you off, but every encounter is an opportunity for a set.
Oh,
you do your job, you encounter more people, you talk, you know what I mean? You see different things.
Well, that's the thing. When I did my comedy contest last month, I was like, I don't really have any material for my class that I want to use. And it's like, what am I going to do? And I'd gotten on the Saturday, I got my second vaccine. And then I was just thinking about it. And I'm like, it's kind of, I just thought of some thoughts about that, about talking to the nurse and then talking to the person who gave, like at the end, who said, okay, are you, has it been 15 minutes yet? And then, so I wrote the story of my vaccine. So I did 7 minutes about just everything that happened in terms of getting my vaccine. So it's like, So then just because of leaving
relatable.
And that won the contest. So it's like, like anything you do is, like nothing is going to happen that's funny just sitting on my couch in the basement here. But if I'm out doing things,
you got to do shit. Stuff. Sorry.
I know. I keep, I'm always trying not to swear because it's like, is it gonna, now do I have to tell Apple Podcasts, like file it under adult content or something? I don't know how it works.
How many times? I cussed what? I did twice. It was twice. It was 2. Yeah. Just a little bleep. Sorry.
No, I know. And then there was one, I was interviewing this guy in Pakistan. He's building a website for me. And he said like the F word, like an hour into it or something. I'm like, is anybody gonna know? Like, is Apple using like some kind of, are they scanning it, or would somebody have to listen to an hour to get to that little bleep?
And we were at least 10, 12 minutes in before I said a cuss word.
No, I know, but it's like,
good for me.
How are they going to know? Like, I don't know if YouTube's going to know. I guess I'll just tell them, and then I'll find out. They'll be like, "Oh, you said this was safe," and then we heard like somebody said a word at some point. I'm like, and now
it would be me.
Yeah, and then you'll get me banned from YouTube or whatever. So I guess we've got 6 minutes. So my whole plan This was
Okay.
my new plan that we haven't done yet. Because I thought, yeah, like I still don't know what my podcast is about or what, I guess my new veneer. Because like I changed the description of it last week just to test it. Because originally I said, I'm Celebrity Josh, interviewing celebrities and talking about celebrity news. And I haven't done any of that. So I'm like, what if I change it to, this is Spark You, and I'm talking to the successful creative people to get tips on how to live creatively and make millions of dollars and live your best life. And so now that maybe it'll go, and I categorize it like as a business podcast instead of like celebrity comedy interview. So This is all different now. But then I had a thought like, well, what if I do this thing where, cause I listen to this James Altucher podcast where he talks about all sorts of stuff like how to play chess and interviewing scientists about anti-aging. And but he also has like a mini series within the podcast he calls I Will Make You a Millionaire. So he coaches these different people on how to make $1 million. And so he doesn't have to do a whole podcast on that. He can just do like little episodes on that topic. So I thought, okay, I can do mini episodes within my podcast called Talking to Comedians. And then, so I heard a podcast a while ago where they break down jokes. Like they'll talk to Jim Gaffigan and break down one of his jokes or something. And I thought, well, that could be interesting. So do you have like one little joke we can, or something that we can say, oh yeah, why is that funny? How did you come up with that? And blah, blah, blah.
A joke with no cuss words, huh?
Oh my God. Well, that's interesting.
I'm just kidding. You saw the name of our show, Josh. Are you?
Oh, that's true. I was going to say. Yeah. So what is that?
No, I mean, no. I could easily. I do have, and this was a real thought of mine. One day. And so I just said it on stage and it worked. And it is, I have 2 beautiful daughters. And I just stare at them sometimes. And I'm always wondering, like, which one of them is going to be a hoe, you know?
Yeah, that's your clean joke. That's the cleanest thing you got. My daughters are going to be prostitutes. That's my clean joke. That's what I do on Jimmy Fallon and on the Disney cruise ship. Okay.
I have clean stuff, but I thought that would be more fun.
No, that's good. That's good. And so you've done that before, and it gets a good laugh, and that's the whole thing.
It gets a good laugh. Yeah. I mean, because I think most parents really kind of think of it like,
yeah.
I wonder which direction you guys are gonna go in.
For sure. So, and then I don't know. I don't know what my plan with the whole joke thing is. I mean, I could say, how did you come up with it? But I couldn't even tell you if I come up with a joke 5 minutes later, I don't know where it came from. It's just there. It's like just
comes in. Yeah. It just shows up.
Like, do you deliberately sit there? Okay, I got to think of a joke about my daughters, or I don't know. It's like,
I literally looked at them and thought it one day, and I laughed to myself, and I was like, all right.
That's the
secret. Throw it in there.
I think that's it. Cause I know in my head, like I probably am naturally funny and stuff. And a lot of people are. But the real tough part is just being aware of those thoughts and to go, oh, that was a thought. And let me write it down as a thought.
Yeah.
Because otherwise all day you're thinking, oh, this cup is this and that. But it's like, yeah, for some reason it's hard to actually go, oh, wait a minute, that was a thing. Write down that thought I just had and now perform it.
Gotta catch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's cool. Well, I guess that's it for now. Because I mean, because I used to do these on Skype and it tells you exactly how long you've been talking for, but this just says recording, so you don't even know. But it doesn't really matter because right now it's 3:30. It doesn't matter where we started. So maybe we can do this again because I want to learn about your Effort podcast and all of that.
It's a comedy show. It's a live show we do.
But it's a podcast, or it isn't a? Oh no,
it's a live. It's live show. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's in LA, and then people come. And I guess, is it people doing their dirty material? And that's why the title of it is that?
Well, the title of it is that because me and my partner, Lynn, we were talking, we did a show together, and then we talked about touring with that crew. And I was like, I think we should just do a live show first and see how that goes.
Yeah, before
she was like, you think so? Right, before we start traveling. And she was like, you think so? And I'm like, yeah, why not? And she was like, well, why not? And I was like, F it, why not? And she said, well, and I was like, and that's where it came up. That's how we got it.
That's hilarious.
And so we kind of handpick the comics, like we like it to have a flow, like somebody who's like really hyper and then low, like we have a flow to it. And we make it fun. We have the DJ and we have merch and t-shirts and and we just let the comics be. If you're clean, be clean. It's no big deal. If you're dirty, then that's your thing. As long as you're not offensive, racist, or you know what I mean, or sexist or anything like that, we don't want you anyway. But
All right.
yeah,
Well, then I
we
cannot
just let
be
people
on your
do
show.
their thing. Huh?
I'm all of that, so I can't be on your show.
You are.
No, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. I mean, if you say anything on Twitter, then you're accused of it for sure. But people don't get comedy either. They don't get the jokes. Like, you can make a joke. Anyways, that's the whole thing about comedy, right? You can say something that's obviously sarcastic, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're sexist." No, the point was that's not. Anyways, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I also
Who
want
knows?
to. I want to hear about because I want to hear what it's like to be like a comedian in LA. Like, that's my fantasy. Like, move there, and now I'm in the community, and I've got all these friends, and we just go out together to diners and make each other laugh, and then you go to the shows.
Okay.
Is it like that or no?
Yeah, you could. I can't tell you what your experience is gonna be. Everybody has a different experience. When you find your comedy circle, it might be fun. You know what I mean? Like, but the grind of it, the open mics and all that, it is just a grind. You know, you're out there, you go to your open mics, you tell your jokes to a bunch of comics who aren't listening, they're just waiting to get up.
Yeah, I don't even know what the point is.
Submit, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I did that one contest last summer in Ottawa. And after I was like, well, I don't want to do this. Like, well, this is hard. And what is the point? And maybe if I was 20 and I'd be off meeting groupies or something. But I mean, it's like, what is the, why would I
But I will tell you this.
Yeah.
If you come out here and you start hitting the ground running, doing the comedy thing, you're going to have such an excitement for it. You're going to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I should have done it when I was much younger. Like I've always,
you can still do it.
I know. It's just, I wonder, like, is it weird to be 48, 49, 50, like going around?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
Nope.
Great.
Never too late.
All right. You pumped me up. I'll go do my, my call, and then I'll post
Good luck.
this. And then, we'll stay tuned, and everybody look for her at Nikole Denise Comedy. I'll put it in the show notes so you can see how to spell all of that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for this, Josh. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasures. Bye.
All right. Bye.